Hi friends, Louis Vuitton just launched their makeup line. It's launching on August 29th, but we have already seen the previews. If you haven't, stay tuned. So the line is called Labbout Louis Vuitton. I'm gonna play it for you on Google.
Labbout Louis Vuitton.
Labbout Louis Vuitton. For this beauty launch. Now it's no surprise because they have wanted to own every category of your life, from handbags to home goods. The fragrances have been in store for quite some time. It was just a matter of time before they roll out some lipsticks, just like Hermes has lipsticks for $81. So they brought in the biggest name in beauty, Dame Pat McGrath, who is a master at her art and has her own fabulous, luxurious line of makeup that you can find at Ulta or Sephora. Of course, she is the best of the best, so the expectations for this line should be really high. And also the expectations for the price tag should be really high because, after all, it's Louis Vuitton. Okay, let's look at the products. There are 55 shades of lipstick. That's a huge shade range. The number 55 is symbolic of LV, which in Roman numerals is 55. Cute, cute. And the price is $160 for the case and $69 for the refill. So I've read some reviews on the pigments of the lipsticks, and yes, there is a lip balm also, which is a sheer tint. I can't imagine paying $160 for a lip balm, but we all know this is for the thrill of having a Louis Vuitton lipstick. Now, if you look at the packaging, it's actually very similar to Pat McGrath's current offering, which offers a little lip at the bottom, at the base of the lipstick. And if you look at the Vuitton version, it has the LV and the monogram on the base of the lipstick. So it looks, when I see this, it looks extremely similar. Then you have the eyeshadows. This is a work of art. This looks fabulous. And even on that little trunk, it's so darn cute. But how much is this going to set you back? That eyeshadow palette of 4 colors is going to cost you $250. Now, this article says that refills are $92. There are 3 wearable everyday shades and 1 bold. I wonder if the refill is 4 shades or just one at a time, like they do with MAC. Maybe this compact will like take off into outer space and send you into orbit for $250, or I'm not sure. But we all know you are paying for the gorgeous case, which, oh yes, she is beautiful. And you are paying for the flex of pulling out your Louis Vuitton lipstick and applying it during your girls' brunch. Now, there are good notes in these articles that the packaging is stunning and weighty. They look more like art rather than things you put on the shelf or in the bottom of your bag. And it sounds like the shades are wearable and made for a large range of skin tones. So there's just some photos here. A fair-skinned lady trying some of the lip balms. And the Cut article, the beauty editor at Cut made sure that the colors were suited to her skin tone. Now, they have been doing this across the board, not just with beauty, but with bringing cultural icons like Pharrell and Virgil Abloh as creative directors, and also using various ethnicities in their advertising, such as Zendaya and all of these Asian K-pop girls who I don't even know. But they're obviously presenting a very diverse palette for the younger generation to fall into this Vuitton lifestyle, which is very smart of them. Other notes about the packaging: it is refillable, and the designer is Konstantin Greek. I messed that name up. Thick aluminum brass chunk inspired, very Vuitton monogram flowers. This does look like jewelry. It looks like art. And don't be afraid if your lipstick case scratches, because it will in your purse. Now, I see this as a great entry point for those who cannot yet buy a bag. You can take home a lipstick. I think lipsticks are a little more wearable and show-offable than a fragrance. So now, of course, what Vuitton is doing, they are raising the stakes for luxury beauty. LVMH already owns Sephora, who has changed the game in makeup, has made makeup shopping a whole new experience, and has really elevated the price tag of luxury makeups such as Dior, La Mer, Chanel, La Prairie. Makeup and skincare is now a very expensive luxury experience, which over time has shifted our mindset because now $50 for a Dior lipstick seems totally normal, as does a $600 La Mer cream. Totally normal, right? Not for me, but for some people, it is definitely a flex to buy a La Mer cream. So LVMH has already set the stage with Sephora. Dior, Chanel, Hermes already has lipsticks. Why not bring in a Louis Vuitton lipstick? Doesn't stop there. You can buy the whole trunk set of 55 lipsticks and 10 lip balms, plus this case. I haven't actually used the Pat McGrath lipsticks. The lipsticks don't last forever. If your lipsticks smell like crayon and have a hard texture, it's time to throw them out, and that can happen even if you don't touch them and open them and stuff. So the next claim is the Luxe formula featuring botanicals, shea butter, hyaluronic acid, and a custom fragrance by Jacques Cavier Belletrude. I don't know if that justifies the price tag, but we already ascertained that you are paying for the logo and the packaging. I would be very careful about perfumes, fragrances in your lipstick, because perfumes, fragrances in your skincare can actually be very harmful. Now, why this is the perfect timing for this drop? Historically, lipsticks sell well during an economic downturn because it's a little pick-me-up for us ladies. And at this time, people don't seem to be splurging as much on a Louis Vuitton bag, considering sales have been down in luxury sectors across every brand. So why not launch something like a $160 lipstick or a $250 eyeshadow palette? This is going to be the piece that men come in to buy a gift for their girlfriend, or the piece that the millennials will come in to buy for themselves. So I'm not sure if this is going to fly off the shelves or sit there, but I feel like it's going to be very popular. Oh wait, and it doesn't stop at makeup. It looks like there are vanity trunks, little lipstick holders, blotting paper holder. I wonder how much that is going to cost. And it says here a monogram leather brush set. That's going to cost an arm and a leg. So you can have your bathroom vanity, your makeup vanity stocked with these Louis Vuitton products. I can't wait to see the Instagram photos. So I honestly, if you think you need to try these lipsticks and eyeshadows, I highly encourage going over to Sephora and trying a Pat McGrath, which is what I would do before buying a Louis Vuitton lipstick. I personally have my supply of lipstick, link it down below, but I am a fan of Pat McGrath. So most of you don't know that my other career is in cosmetics, and I do have a Pat McGrath palette here. So immediately I thought of this and needed to show you and share this with the audience. This is my luxurious Pat McGrath Mothership palette. She costs $125, which is a splurge. That is a huge splurge, considering makeup palettes are all over the board. You can buy Maybelline, or you can get Anastasia for about $65, and then Pat McGrath. So it is a very special pigment. It is a different powder than your regular eyeshadows. The matte colors you can brush on, but these bolder colors with the shimmers, those have to be pressed in because this palette is extremely delicate. Do you see how there is powder all over the palette? Every time I open it, I do wipe it down. So I can't imagine if you have that Louis Vuitton palette in your purse, it might mess up the shadows. Just because this is not something I travel with. If I travel with it, it's in the case and it's lying flat, and I never turn it over, because I have turned it over and the whole shadow palettes have fallen out. So you have to be super careful not to jiggle this thing, and especially not to drop it. It's a very special palette. It reminds me of all the customers who scratch their Louis Vuitton glasses or handbags and say, this shouldn't happen because it's Vuitton, yet they dragged it into the middle of the street. So same concept. I think if it is going to be this luxurious shadow texture, I would handle it with kid gloves very delicately. Oh, but anyhow, they also have the quads available for $65. If you wanted to try a Pat McGrath eyeshadow Or lipstick, the lipsticks are $39. The shades and the packaging looks the same to me. And for me, Pat McGrath is just as luxury as Vuitton. So I guess it depends on what circles you're running with. So I'd like to know who is going to run out and spend money on this collection. I have a feeling once it hits social media that there are probably going to be certain shades of lipsticks that will fly off the shelves. Let me know in the comments if you plan to buy and feed into the luxury machine that is Louis Vuitton. Thank you guys for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye.